Hey everybody, and welcome to your class, Principles of Finance. I'm your instructor, Mr. Benjamin. And by way of introduction, I'm going to use this video to talk about the particulars of the class. So the objectives from this presentation are learn about how this class will work, become familiar with our class shell, which is our learning management software in something called D12, otherwise known as Brightspace. You're going to understand how Connect works. That's the publisher's website that we use where you get your e-text, what's in it, that type of thing. We're going to learn about the schedule, and you really need to commit to managing to it. Again, this is an 8-week class, so it goes pretty fast. And you're going to learn about the easiest points you have in class before the end of it. So let me summarize this class. It's fast and it's relentless. It really, really covers a lot of ground very quickly. So it's real important to engage from day one all the way to the end of the class. It's really packed in there, okay? So think of it as a high hurdle race, okay? So when you think about a high hurdle race, think of every week as one of the hurdles, okay? So if you trip on the first hurdle, you're really going to have a hard time crossing the finish line in the way that you want. So just keep that in mind. It moves fast, and you really need to stay with it. Just really quickly about me, for over 40 years, I've been involved in business, working for massive international corporations, working on my own as a entrepreneur and sole proprietor. I financed several startups all through growth stages, kind of one of the more challenging things to do. Launch new businesses, markets, products, all kinds of different things new. That's sort of my elevator speech. Business development activities. Always leverage your financial acumen. You really need to understand a lot about finance to do business development. I got my MBA from Kellogg, going part-time at night and working really full-time. I say that because I was actually traveling and doing other types of things. So I can appreciate where you're coming from as students, that you're doing other things other than this, taking this class. So my elevator speeches, I know how to make businesses profitable, start new businesses, and make old businesses grow like new businesses. And that's something we're going to talk about quite a bit. We're going to talk about networking, and networking is a very important part of your professional career, whatever it may be, as you go on. LinkedIn is a real important thing to get involved in. You can join it, do the free version. There's really no reason to pay for it until you have a reason to pay for it. So, but definitely join in on it. It's a real good forum to network from. So our class is being managed through something called D12. What is D12? There's a link here. There's several things you can do to learn more about it, but that's where we're going to conduct all of our class things, being an asynchronous online class, meaning we never actually meet. Everything that you need for the class is in there. Okay, so this is a very important thing to get familiar with. So in D12, we're going to learn to communicate. We'll use D12 for our emails within the class. I ask that you use the D12 email because the Oakton email is, you just get inundated with stuff. I'm just going to be real honest with you. It's very easy to not see things, so I really ask you to communicate with me through the email client in D12, and you'll see where it is. I'm going to do posts and announcements in there, kind of keep you up to date as to what's going on in class. I'll do those once a week. You're going to find our course content in there, all the content, meaning the links to the assignments that we do. Everything will be in there, including taking the test will also be in D12. And there's a group project that you'll get towards the end of class. And don't worry, it's not a big one. It's not a semester-long thing. It really takes about the equivalent of not even a week to do. Okay. So, I really strongly suggest you put the app called Brightspace Pulse on your phone, so you can get all your communications and things like that on your phone. That's where I get my communications, so I make sure that I have Brightspace Pulse on my phone, so I can access those types of things for the class. Now I'm going to shift gears here just a little bit, so bear with me. I'm going to show you what D12 looks like when you get logged into it. I assume many of you have seen it already, but by the same token, I want to make sure that you're prepared to look at it. So this is the home page for D12, okay? And in here you can see we have our where we can look up content that we have coming up to deal with. All the things that we care about in the class are going to be in that particular tab. We have our assignments links. I'm sorry, those are also in the content tab as well. All the announcements for the class will be here. The D2L email I was talking about is up here. It's very easy to use, but it's a self-contained email thing. You can send out of it, but you can't send into it. So you can send you can forward an email to yourself, for example, in D2L, but you can't send one into the D2L email system. Okay. We have some discussions that relate to that group project I was talking about before. And this is where we'll launch our quizzes and our exams. Okay, so most everything we need for class is in the D2L shell. And so I'll try to keep you up to date on what's going on through the announcements that are there. I do them at least once a week, all throughout this class. Okay, so that's D2L. Going back to our presentation. So in D2L also, I want you to work on putting a profile out there. Post a picture of yourself, say something unique about you. It's a really great way to network. If you take advantage of that, that's one of the problems with asynchronous online classes. You never really interact with your classmates. And I think it's a really important thing to do from a networking standpoint. Just, you can work with each other, help each other figure out problems that you can't figure out in the homework, that type of thing. So, yeah, definitely take advantage of that. And so if you have a nice profile in there, obviously you'll be able to make a better connection. You will get to connect via our homepage on D2L. All the way down in the corner, you'll see a little widget down there. It's called McGraw-Hill Connect. You will connect with that. You don't have to, when you sign up for it, you don't have to pay for it. You've already paid for it. That's where your e-text is. That's where the assignments are that we're going to do every week. So definitely get to know about Connect. Let me break away here real quick so I can show you what that looks like. First off, from our D2L homepage, if I go all the way down to the bottom of it, that's right. Oops, I don't see it here, but this is where we would see it. Okay, that'll be there for you when the class actually opens up. And then when you do log into it, it looks something like this. And it shows you all the different assignments that are coming up. This is where you actually access the e-text. And it's a really good text. I really do like it a lot. And this is where you'll see the actual assignments that are coming up for that particular week. Okay, so hopefully that'll help you navigate around Connect. By the way, when you do sign up for it, you might have to create a real brief account with a real simple account with McGraw-Hill to actually access it. But don't pay for anything again. That's my main advice. If they're asking for money, don't give it to them, okay? You have paid for it, and if you have a problem, just let me know, okay? All right, so the e-text is in there. The assignments are in there. Okay, so the class syllabus, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. It's there to read. I want you to read it, but most of the things you want to know about are in the class schedule, okay? So let me open that up for you real quick. And I have it in Excel, and I also have a Word version of it as well. So, but this is our schedule. As you can see, it's tight, really packed. It's packed very tightly here, okay? We've got a lot going on in this class, and we cover about the same amount of material that we do in a 16-week class and an 8-week class. Now, having said that, is it difficult? Yes, but it's not impossible. I have several students get A's. This is not an impossible task, but it really requires you to knuckle down and get at it, okay? And you really have to kind of keep up with the class. It's foundational in that the very first things that you learn are going to be used later on in the class, so it's really, really important to start out strong. I want you to pay real close attention to a couple of things. You're going to read chapters 1 and 2 this week out of the e-text, and you're going to read your homework for chapters 2 and 3 is due a week from the opening class on Monday, the March 25th. And so all the dates and the times that things are due are right here in this schedule, and I will reference this in my weekly announcements just so we keep up with it. But as you can see, we cover a lot of ground very quickly. So be prepared for that. There's no real breaks or no real easy weeks or anything like that. I mean, we hit it and we go hard all the way through the end of class. That's just how it works. Okay. And then, so that's the schedule, and that's where the important things are. I'll just explain a little bit about grades since I have it here. Actually, I have a little slide on that in my PowerPoint, so I'm going to go back to that. Okay, so if there's any questions about any of these things, please write them down and email them to me, or contact me in some way, shape, or form. Okay. All right. So the grades are a basic grading scale. It's on a 100-point system. An A is 90 to 100, 80 to 80 to basically 90 is a B, and as you can see, the typical scale. Okay. The grade breakdowns goes like this. There's 15 homework assignments associated with the chapters that we do. Those are each worth 4 points. That adds up to 60 out of 100 points. So the homework's a pretty big deal in terms of your total grade. Don't get too confused about the timing of these tests. The second test and the third test are the basic unit tests for all the material that we cover in class. Those are worth 10 points and 15 points respectively, so we're already up to 85 of the 100 points. There's our group projects called the Enron case, and we'll talk about that as we get closer to that time. That's worth 10 points. And then the final 5 points are super easy to get, and they're due this week. We do test number 1. And then we talk about Connect orientation, doing the Connect orientation videos, which is an assignment actually. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward and pretty easy to follow. And if you have any questions about where you sit on a grade or anything like that, don't hesitate to reach out to me. Okay. All right. So I think I've said this several times. So I'll say it again. Keep pace. It moves super fast. It really does. So I want you to be fully prepared for this. This is a 16-week class crammed into an 8-week one. Now, I've taught this in the summers. I've taught this, which is also an 8-week class. In the 8-week sections that are now becoming something at Oakton, which I think are great, but they're also much more intense and accelerated. So be prepared for that. Complete all the assignments. Do them on time. Again, if you fall behind, you have to make those things. There's just no way to make those things up. You just get really bogged down. So it's real important to get on the pace of the weekly schedule. Okay. Keep up with the text reading and the assignments. Again, I would suggest looking at the schedule every Sunday night before the week starts, so you get an idea what's coming up, if not before. Look at the course schedule every Sunday, see what's coming up. We talk about that. And then if you ever get stuck, that's what I'm here for, okay? So I have virtual office assistance hours, which are 10 to 11 o'clock on Monday mornings. But, I know you guys are busy. You're doing a lot of different things. That's why you're taking this type of class. So if you want to meet with me, don't hesitate to reach out through an email, D2L. Give me 3 times that you can meet with me. I'm pretty sure one of those is going to work 3 separate times, by the way, not 10:05 and 10:10, on the same day. 3 separate times. One of them will work. I'll respond and say, yes, I'll meet you on this time. We'll confirm the appointment, and you'll show up. If you make an appointment with me, show up. If you don't, I'm going to be very hesitant to make an appointment with you again. Okay? So that's the deal there. Okay? So by this Friday, you want to read all the course documents, including the syllabus, the course outline, which is basically the schedule, how to do well. I wrote a document and kind of explaining all the different things you need to know on how to do well in the class. I want you to watch the Connect orientation videos. Super simple. Just check off that you've watched them. You'll get your points. You want to log into Connect and read chapters 1 and 2. Take test number 1. Test number 1 is a syllabus type test that's really simple and easy to take. But it gets you to sign up for HonorLock. HonorLock is a online proctoring service that I'm required to use in tests that we're giving in online classes. So you have to sign up for that to take any of the other classes. Tests, I'm sorry. I want you to fill out your D2L profile completely. And then I have the opportunity for us to meet in a one-on-one virtual meeting. It takes no more than 10-15 minutes. We can talk about the class. We can talk about each other. You can learn a little bit about more about it than you're getting from this. And I fully encourage you to do that. I can honest to goodness say this, and I'm not just saying it to say it, is that the students that engage in the one-on-one meetings do better in the class than the ones that don't. And that's just a simple fact. Okay, so that's it. A lot to do. You're going to hit the ground running. You're really going to be moving with this. Don't get bogged down. Don't get overwhelmed. And if you have any issues or any problems at all, don't hesitate to reach out to me, okay? I wish you the very best, and welcome to class.